It's good to stand and recognize an African music icon and ambassador, the modernizer of the classical Fuji music.
All right, good evening, everybody. Thanks for still sticking around with us. And I'd like to especially thank King Wasiu Ayinde Marshall. He's been here all day, so please give him another round of applause. Here all day.
Thank you.
So, Alhaji, first of all, sir, for people like us who were not even thought of being born when you already started performing, can you just please share with us like a short history of Fuji music, how it started and stuff?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Nice having me here and nice seeing you people to share one or two things as far as my genre of music is concerned, Fuji music. Fuji music started from Aji Sari Ajiwere, the music of yesteryears. And we have a lot of players way back then. But Fuji music became more popular and open to the world through the man known as Wasiu Ayinde Barrister. And he takes all credit for every successes of Fuji, of which my humble self and several others today we are benefiting from. But the fact of it is, that is the only known genre of music that is indigenous. And it's still very, very vocal and strong till this moment. And I've also foresee a foreseeable future for Fuji music, the way things are at this moment. The Fuji music that I'm talking about, combination of what is known as the real African rhythm and instrumentation, something you can never wipe off from the life of our people of the yesteryear. It is, yes, indigenous, very strong in the life of our people. And if we trace back the history of entertainment back in Nigeria, the olden days, there's no way you talk about Nigeria and entertainment, you don't talk about the Lagos, Nigeria. Lagos, Nigeria happens to be the center of everything as far as Nigeria is concerned. As a matter of fact, that still makes Lagos State today the leading light. When you see how everything, the influx of everything, even right from the time of the white leadership around here, they make their search and they came across this continent to this side of the world to discover something so unique. Upon the influence of brand of music that was brought into our mix, that was introduced to us either by the Portuguese, by the Bees, but everybody, the English, the French, everybody, you still see that the one that is so important and meaningful to our people is still very much there and still relevant till today. When you're talking about Sakara, you're talking about Dondon, you're talking about Gudu, you're talking about Akpala, Omele, and so on and so forth. Those instrumentation that combine the richness and the goodness of our brand of music is still very much strong, and no known technology has been able to give us the exact meaning of those things as naturally as it is.
So, sir, when you started music, what was the other music? What was the popular music of that day? What, like, we now, we sing hip hop and all of that, but a lot of us grew up on Fuji and Juju and all of that. So when you were starting out, what was the popular music of that era?
That's what I said. I said, today Fuji started from Ajiwere Ajisari. Ajiwere Ajisari, it's a street music.
Exactly. So what was the popular, acceptable music, apart from what you picked up from Ajiwere
Ajisari.
Sir?
That is what I said. The lyrics of our people, that's so important and so meaningful to them in the way of their radiation. Edide, oh, tori Ọlọ́run, edide sari to. They use this. At first, it has religious undertone, because Ajiwere Ajisari comes to be with the Muslim fasting period, and you see various groups here and there from different parts of southwest Nigeria. They were so entrenched with getting this thing done, to wake people up and call people to serve. It makes a lot of meaning to them, and talents keep rising and rising and rising from that. Like I said, to the glory of God and to that great man who make it so more popular, Wasiu Ayinde Barrister. He's late up today, but the works he has left behind and the good people like us that he has left behind, we're still making that impact very strong, and will continue. And a whole lot of people, as a matter of fact, it has gone viral to the point today music, the hip hop of today got all their life from that genre of music, Fuji. Because a whole lot of our hip hop artists, they got to grow up to listen and understand the importance of this music in our midst. And that is where they got their own discovery and life as well. And that's why I said Fuji music will continue to make a meaningful impact in the entertainment life of this country, Nigeria.
A round of applause for him, please. What I was going to say next was, I grew up listening to Wasiu Ayinde Barrister, but there are certain parts of it that seemed a bit over my head that I didn't necessarily understand. The Yoruba and all of that. The rhythm is fantastic, but the Yoruba seemed a little bit over my head. But for people like you, you helped us see Fuji from another perspective. You opened it up, and then I remember you singing Tafilo, all right, London, La.
Oh yes, oh yes.
To that part.
I feel all right, London, La. Oh my God, you got it.
So yeah, for a lot of this generation that listen to that sound, they are infusing Fuji into hip hop and all of that. What was it for you that made you funkify it, so to speak? You were about the first to start putting saxophone with Fuji, and I gave it a different sound entirely. What was it for you? Why did you funkify it?
Number one, I have opportunity of coming into that journey of music when I was a little boy. I started playing music at the age of 7, and I grew through the rudiment at that time till I was 18 when I turned full pro. And when I turned pro at 15, at that time, not very many young folks like me were able to stand to that test of time. So it becomes more challenging for me, those I'm seeing ahead of me. Wasiu Ayinde Barrister, who happens to be my boss, my direct boss, and Alaji Kolintian, and very many other ones that are their category or right just after them. I see myself a younger man, and the responsibility fell on me about giving this music and participation of young folks like me, more importantly, into that music. And I thank God that really saved that music for us, because while those that are older than me were taking charge of the adults, I was able to carry the younger ones along. And they get along so seriously, and it really serves an open eye for others that wants to, like, oh, if he can do it, then I can do. So it's really a high opening for a whole lot of young folks. And it really, helped me as well to be able to put all those things that I believe we seize. We have influence of foreign music in our society then. You see everybody going for disco, and this is what they do. And I want to attract most of my younger folks, my mates, into what we are doing. Come in. So we have to start putting this and that and that. So the idea of funkifying it wasn't too distant of a thing for me. It becomes more importantly for me to see that happening. And I derive that energy from those younger folks that still around me.
But are you not worried that it waters Fuji down a little? Is it any different from the real Kong Fuji? Is that something?
It has not taken anything that is real Kong Fuji out of Fuji. Many years after, if you listen to most of my lyrics and composition and album like that, Ogede, Obeye, Ayinde K1. Ìyá ọmọ kìlọ̀ fọ́mọ ẹ̀ o, òun fi ikú ṣeré o, igi ìbẹ́pẹ tí o lẹ́sẹ̀ ló mígùn o. Now, over there, you see, àpò ṣàṣàmùrà òwe, ṣàṣàmùrà ògbẹ́rí, àpò tẹ́ ń tọwọ́ bọ̀, tí gbogbo wa ti ń mówó, ṣàṣàmùrà. Àpò ṣàṣàmùrà ògbẹ́rí, ṣàṣàmùrà o. Ẹ bá mi pa màṣẹ o, àṣẹ now.